on CPDL of the Fairphillis. I just took the first page because I thought it was really interesting to see this. Because when I saw the score you have, I saw the name Walter Ehret. Warning, Will Robinson, anytime you see the name Walter Ehret, double check everything you know, because he was one of the cheesiest arrangers, conductors, and editors of things. And this is only, I think, 7 of the 13 editions that are available on CPDL. And look at, maybe I think it's the second or third copy on there. No, it's actually the first. What do you notice in the 5th bar?
In which one? The 5th? First?
The first one, the 5th bar. Do you need it higher, Brad?
No, I was just...
Okay. So, you can have it. I just thought it was really interesting to see how many different ways there are and how many different interpretations. And the reason I did that is because when I was looking at this on Sunday, I thought to myself, how would I conduct it? And so I think there's some things to think about in this. We'll stay with what Brad has prepared, but it's just something to put out there and say, there are many ways to look at the various editions. And there are some really wicked ones in multi-meters, where the score is written in different meters in each part.
I guess while we're also on the topic of mixed meter, if you would turn your attention to measure 35, this is page 71, bottom system, second to last measure. I will be going into 3 there, and then back into common time for a measure in 37, and then back to triple in 38. I'm just saying that because it's not written down in this edition. Let's just say that this edition gave me a lot of grief this week. Yeah, thanks, Walter.
Okay? So, Brad?
Yes?
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's why I hate this edition. Just happens to be the one in the library. Okay, so when you're going here, how have you rebarred it?
Let's see, I just gave up hope on this edition and I decided to go with the one that is in the volume 2 of the...
You should have told us that.
When I sent out my email to the class, I said I attached another edition of the Theophilus in my analytical synopsis.
I believe you did.
So the one he's working on is one of the ones, if you look, I think in my examples, it's probably like number 2. So the second page, the back of the first page. Fair Phyllis. It's almost like that, except he's doing fair Phyllis I saw sitting all alone, feeding her flock near to the mountains. Well, whatever. Anyways, so he has taken, which would be what I would have done had I been the conductor forced to use the Walter Arrett edition. Okay? So now we gained something. Will you start it again? Thank you. Now that I know what you're doing. Good. Can you take your hand and just put it here? Fair Phyllis I saw sitting all alone, feeding her flock. Now see, there's a problem there because I have a different meter in my mind, okay? But it will work. But I think that this can be here. So it's just a smaller pattern. And it's brought here. Fair Phyllis I saw sitting, breath, feeding her flock near to the mountainside. Whatever it is. Okay? Do it again. Same thing.
Altos, you are more than welcome to join the sopranos on that solo.
I think they did a nice job. Thank you, sopranos. Watch how much we criticize them, too. You will never gain, I'm talking about the sopranos, you will never gain love from them if you criticize them too much. Good. I'm going to ask you not to do anything other than give the downbeat so that you're not giving us that. Okay? But you got to breathe now.
Okay.
Okay? So my suggestion is not to count off because it doesn't tell me anything. But if I go and I breathe, Brad,
Yes.
Bob. Okay, so this tempo, the same thing that Brandon was working with in setting the tempo on the 12/8, the same idea exists here.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not ragging on anybody. These are problems that we all have.
All right.
Okay? On the second page of his edition, the shep, right? Can we start it right there? The shep is new, not new, wherever that is. Right there. So this is starting, the shep is new. So I'm going to give, this is one of those, these are called moments with, Dennis Schrock, I think, is the one who talked about the landscape idea. So it would be, I give the sopranos, and I go, the shep, the shep, the shep, the shep.
Okay.
So I'm going soprano, alto, tenor, bass.
Okay.
Okay? The shep. Okay, good. Let's take it again. The shepherds knew not knew. Tick, tick, tick. It's there. Yeah. And I think that in my mind, there's still a line here. And so just beating time there doesn't do as much as if you know the shep, the shep, the shep, the shep, or the shep, the shep, the shep, the shep. Okay?
Yes.
Can we start again? Here we go. So the important to me is the up and down. Okay, it's a little body, it's a little dirty. Okay, so we want to try and get that. But if we're continually, what's going is I'm
Yeah.
getting a lot of this,
Yes.
and I think you can be a lot more of this here to get the character that you want.
Okay.
One of the things I noticed that you tend to keep, this was an old technique of conducting, was to do something like this, I remember, or this, which was another way. I think there were actually textbooks that would have you conduct like this. My college choral director conducted with 2 fingers together like this. And was just a very, I know, kind of like penguins or birds. But it was, we were taught originally that this is where the beat was, kind of, so you could do it this way. I hated it, okay? But the idea is that we want to have somewhat of a natural curve to this. So if I take your hand down and I ask you to pick it up, don't move, it comes into this position, which is similar to the way we would want us to kind of think of the model of the mouth. Okay? Okay? Can we try that again?
Sure.
Same thing.
Up and down.
Oh, let's go ahead. The shepherds knew not. Just do that. You know, because of the fact that visually it's hard to see
Yes.
this, I would probably give my cue here, so I would give the cue to the sopranos. T. The shepherds. My left hand would give those cues.
Yes.
Okay, so it makes the shep, the shep,
Okay.
the shep.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, sure.
so you didn't. If you want, you could just actually practice just giving those entrances.
Sure.
Okay.
So left hand cue for the soprano, and then.
And then it
as
goes
well
to the
as-
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This again, going back fundamentally, keeps your meter, and this can be all the other things that you want to add into.
Okay.
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 Let's try it again. Same thing. Yeah, so this is kind of going to the same problems we have. So you're going here, you're going the
Got it.
Okay.
So it's okay to kind of turn your body a little.
Yeah, this is the landscape that I was talking about earlier. Landscaping the choir. Okay?
Okay.
Do it again. Yeah, that works. Yes, do it again. Do it again. Same thing. Bravo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay? It's kind of cool when you do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. go back into the repeat, just to get that page turn solidified. So right at then they fell off kissing. Oh,
71. Oh, sorry, Thomas. 72.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is. So you're doing three, right? You're doing three. So then they fell kissing. Oh, then they fell. So the problem is that this has to be 1 2 T 1 2 T 1 2 T 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So it's always about the up. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're always suspending at the top of the beat.
Yes.
Here we go. Do it again. Same thing. Oh, then. Then they fell off kissing, kissing. Oh, then they fell off kissing. Well, she was kissing. Oh, then they fell off kissing. Oh, then they fell off kissing, kissing. Oh, then they fell off kissing. Good, good. For all of you, as you start to look for additions, you can always use one in the library, but you can always fix it, if you know what I mean. Do not believe everything that's published is correct. It's like going to CPDL. I use that only as an example. There are 13 editions, all published within the last 10 years or 12 years. Some of them are crap too. Okay? So thank you, Brad. Yeah, Emily.
I was gonna ask if you know of any editions that do it in mixed meter.
I'm trying to remember the one, the Variabar is what it was called. And it was like, you look at each section and they're all set up. I don't know that I still have it. I usually throw those away. Because I don't know what the conductor's supposed to do with that Variabar system. But I'll see if I can find a Variabar score that I can show you. I don't think I have this one anymore. Thank you all. We need to get out of here. Got it. You got it. You got it. Thank you so much.